Hello.
Hello.
It's that time again.
It is.
George is rocking like a crazy person to the theme music.
Headbanging to the theme music.
Yes. He's George.
He's Angus.
I thought I'd get it in early this week.
Well done.
Because we nearly forgot last week.
Yeah, but you know, get it in.
Right. It started for 10.
It is.
Can't remember what episode number we're on, but that doesn't matter really.
Who knows?
Who cares? Who cares?
It's in the title, so they'll know what episode number it is.
We're back recording on the Monday night.
It's a Monday.
It's become a bit of not a routine, but we've slotted into the Monday night.
Slotted into Mondays instead
the
of
Monday
Sundays.
night, and then the Tuesday release. You know, the Tuesday.
It's just whatever, isn't it? It's just whatever happens.
Yeah, it's been quite a good week on the old social media.
Yeah.
We've had somebody challenge us.
We did, and fail.
Multiple times. Yeah, you try and challenge our facts, and you will be smitten.
Well,
you cross
sometimes.
us. You cross our facts.
I think I get a lot of stuff wrong.
You try and cross us, and I have Wikipedia at my hand, and day or night. Actually, incidentally, it was 1:30 a.m.
Oh my god!
On Saturday night, and I still was slamming down. So if you want to challenge us,
try.
You know where we are at Starter for 10 Pod on Twitter. Yes, and we're on Facebook as well. Cool. Righty ho.
Should we go?
We're in. I can fade out the music gently.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for it. Oh, that was a fade.
Oh, smooth.
Beautiful.
Smooth fade.
We're on Italian beer this time. Have we ever done Italian beer before? Do you reckon there's anyone who's avid enough to know what beers we've had?
There's somebody who's definitely got a spreadsheet.
I hope so.
An Excel they update every week.
I hope so. Well, it's Peroni this week. I'm pretty sure. See, this is the thing. I go to Co-op and buy a beer, and I look at all the beers that are on offer, and I think, have we had that one before?
See, I blew it today because I was in Darts Farm, a local farm shop, with an exceptional beer, and actually there was a new, pretty tacky sign, a neon sign up saying that it was the UK's #1 cider shop. That little cider place.
They do make their own.
Yeah, and they have this little weird.
And that guy.
That little weird cave.
Have you ever spoken to that man?
Nah.
He's so grumpy, but he's actually an alright guy, and he knows a lot about cider.
Let's hope he's not listening after you called him really grumpy.
He is grumpy. I think he's okay with that. He knows he's grumpy.
He has a lot of ciders.
That's what it is.
A lot of good ciders as well.
Some really good ciders.
So yeah, I missed the boat because what I should have done is catered for this evening and provided us with some interesting beers. But next week, how about that? Hold me to that.
Disgraceful.
Right, and we're not on crisps because we're a later start.
Yeah, we're not doing the crisps this time.
And if you eat too late, you get indigestion.
And nightmares.
And that's only cheese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that real though?
I've never had one, so I don't know.
Never had a
One
nightmare.
day I'm going to eat a whole block of Stilton before I go to bed, just to see what happens.
You'll have to try all the cheeses.
Yeah, go one by one and see which is the worst nightmares.
I thought you were saying that you'd never had a nightmare.
I do have a cheese book, and there's about 700 odd cheeses in there, so I can go through each one, and I can rate how bad my nightmare was. There you go.
It sounds like there's more to the nightmare than just the cheese, though. It's what happens in the day.
Yeah, I suppose. So
this means we're going to have to Truman show you and lock you in the same life. So we'll have to keep you as a control for 700 days, I think. This will pass the ethical committee, and then we'll see it just see.
Ofcom. Broadcast it on Channel 4.
We'll get a complaint.
They're the only ones that will broadcast it.
No, this will be Channel 5.
Channel 5, so no one will watch it.
Yeah, this will make Channel 5 documentaries. Yeah, I think I'd go for that. Sure.
Maybe you already are in a Truman show.
Don't start this. Don't make me start doubting my own reality again.
Maybe I
No.
have been planted in your life.
No, don't do this. Don't. No, I don't need to start.
I think everyone's had that thought. Anyone who knows Truman Show and knows what it's all about has had that thought before.
Film.
It is a good film.
Yes, interesting film.
Anyway.
Right. We should probably get started, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Got a gem for you this week.
Okay,
from
fire away.
Golf.com.
Golf.com.
I'm probably going to say the world's #1 source for golf news because that URL, they either got in there really early.
Probably really early.
Or paid an awful lot of money to own golf.com. Right. It's from the extra spin section of the website.
Extra
so it's
spin.
I guess it's the comedy side.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the
anyway,
gag reel of the golf world.
Yeah. Why do they need that? Golf isn't boring. It's not like they need to spice it up, is it?
No,
they don't need to try and find anything extra.
No, just, no. Golf.
Right. Thieves have used wetsuit snorkels. That's horrible grammar. This is the headline is the problem here, not me. Thieves have used wetsuits and snorkels to steal 800 balls from a course lake.
800?
It would appear so, yes.
How the hell are there 800 balls in one lake?
Well, the story continues. Some people will go to great lengths for some free golf balls. 2 thieves donned wetsuits and diving equipment to steal approximately 800 golf balls from a lake near the Manor Golf Club in Uttoxeter, England. When caught by local police, the thieves eventually turned over the balls to the club owner, but not before asking if they could keep them first.
What?
Why
are they thieves?
Because they own it on the... There's probably a weird...
Surely the people who bought the golf balls in the first place are the owners.
Yeah, weird.
Weird.
They reckon that the golf balls would have fetched them in the region of $520.
What?
Lake balls are a thing. Like, that costs, because
why?
There's companies who, I presume, now thinking about it, now I put 2 and 2 together, must buy the rights to go and rake out the lakes.
And recycle the golf balls. Isn't there like a golf ball recycling thing that's getting quite big now?
Well, what happens is, because you can go, I think you could even buy them in Argos at a time, like lake balls, where you could... Obviously, they'd wash them down and whatever, and you get a handful, but you could potentially end up with some you could get lucky dip, like really good.
Oh, I see. You could get
end
some
up with
awesome golf balls, but you pay like a $5 for the set.
Yeah, so you buy 20 golf balls,
cool.
but it's lucky dip. You might get some that come from the crazy golf, and you might get...
Like a £1,000 golf ball.
I don't think they quite reach £1,000.
I don't know.
I also used to really worry... not worry, wrong word. I used to have my doubts at the differences between golf balls as to average John, until you're reaching the level of, like...
Tiger.
Not quite Tiger.
McIlroy.
Okay, going with the big guns. I mean, the tour professional. Let's
Happy Gilmore.
He definitely wouldn't have been able to utilise the extra spin functionality, would he? This is what I mean. Unless your swing is pretty dialed, are you really going to be able to generate more backswing with a... more backspin with a...
I don't know.
I really struggle
Who
to
knows?
see it. I mean, the marketing department, probably, of all golf balls, has suddenly had a turn.
They probably all come out of the same factory.
It wouldn't even surprise me these
they just
days.
put a different label on it.
It's a bit like bikes have... This happens with bikes. It is in, like, Taiwan and whatever, the big bike factories. All the big companies who you think, oh, they must have their own factories. Essentially, there aren't that many big bike factories because... the skills and the skill sets required are quite niche. Taiwan do it so much better than anyone else. You take all your manufacturing out there. And then there was an interesting news story I saw this week as well. It didn't quite make my cut to start the pod, but the bike manufacturer I was sick and tired of getting their stuff damaged.
Yeah.
In transit. So the owner of this Dutch manufacturer, Van Moof, came up with an idea to just print a picture of a flat screen TV on the side of the box.
That is a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Well, obviously, because a bike comes in... If you buy a bike online, it comes in a big old box.
Like huge.
A big box.
But the same as a TV.
Which is, but the same size as a really ultra-expensive
like a big
TV.
old sort of 50-something inch.
Bigger. Like a 70-inch cinema screen. Funnily enough, people tend to be a little bit more gentle if they think they're carrying a 70-inch screen. They
probably weigh about the same as well.
They had reports of damages reduced to the boxes by 70 to 80%.
What?
Yeah. So, a silly little prank.
That's
essentially.
Crazy.
And even it says on the box, it says, we like bikes and we like you. And the rest of the world, we like you and we like the rest of the world to ride bikes and like them too. So it's even like a bit of a joke on the side of it.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But it is just a bike box with a
TV
screen printed on the side of it. Yeah. Works for them.
That's a genius idea.
It is quite a good
Give
idea.
that man a pay rise.
Well, he was already the top dog of the company, I think.
Well, that's why then.
But yeah, because otherwise you get the flipping delivery people making
just
a
chucking
ride.
them, thinking, it's a bike, it's solid, chucking them. which isn't the case.
I mean, everybody's got a story of the flipping yodel man leaving something in the bin, and then the bin getting collected.
I've not had that.
Oh, that's commonplace.
What?
Oh, so we left it in a safe place. Where was that? Oh, in the top of the green bin. Oh, the one that was collected earlier on. Yeah, common. I had somebody was talking to me about that the other day.
No, I've never had that.
I know somebody who had a light shade left in one.
Why would they put it in the bin?
I don't know. Or on Watchdog and whatever, they've thrown parcels over fences.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Damaged all sorts of stuff.
I could believe that.
I can see, yeah. But, have you have anything weird in the post?
Not that I didn't order.
No, that you didn't order. There was a guy, that was another one on Twitter this week. A Fulham footballer. So a pretty big deal, this guy was. He'd ordered a washing machine from Curry's PC World, as you do, go down and pick it, to come and have it plumbed in.
Mm-hmm.
And they delivered it to the wrong house.
Oh, no, I did see that.
And the person accepted it and just had it fitted. Yeah. Is that not
ridiculous.
A bit cheeky?
But what are they going to do?
Well, I
Once
don't know.
it's fitted, they can't walk in and take it out, can they?
But also, the person who received it that's just stealing, is it not?
Well, I suppose, but is it? I don't know. Maybe he thought it was being gifted to him by someone.
What, the Curry's PC World man comes
Maybe.
up? What was he
Maybe.
called? Not know-how? Okay, so the big know-how lorry turns
The
up.
know-how man,
The
who
know-how
doesn't know
man,
anything
who probably
at all.
doesn't, as he's proven, that he doesn't know
Exactly.
how to count, because he can't work out which house number it to go to. He rocks up with a new washing machine that you haven't ordered. Or maybe, okay, give her
What if he did order
benefit
it?
of the doubt. What if they'd also had ordered one
Maybe
by
they
some
had.
horrible streak of...
Maybe they had.
There's no way, though, is there?
It's possible.
Okay, it's possible, but we don't have to hinder that we don't have to keep that
We
for
can
too
ignore
long.
that, yeah.
We can ignore that. Would you let the guy come in, plumb in the new washing machine, and then go, oh, got a new washing machine?
But what's interesting is that they had a space for a washing machine to be plumbed in.
No, because the service would have been take away the old
They
one.
took away the old one.
I can imagine that would have been the
What
service.
a really weird situation.
Yeah. And I don't know if he ever I don't know if the footballer guy ever got to the bottom of where his actual... his stuff is gone.
There was that time that Amazon delivered a whole truck full of wrong stuff to someone. And the guy was like, didn't order any of this. And got in touch with Amazon and they were like, oh, it's all right, keep it. We'll send the stuff again to the right person.
There's a thing that came up fairly recently. I can't remember. I'll try and talk at the same time as typing, but this never goes down
I'm pretty sure
well.
it was like last Christmas or something. They sent it to the wrong person.
Amazon,
but completely the wrong address.
Yeah, Amazon they can apparently recall back if they... if you order something that incorrectly, that they send it out to you, and you don't report it, you have technically at any point in the next 4 or 5 years, I can't remember the exact amount, they can just call it back in, and you have to send it back. But if it goes beyond a certain amount of years, then it's yours.
Oh, right.
Strange, isn't it? It's like weird consumer law. I can't remember what it is. I've tried to explain it. I
That makes
can't type
sense.
and talk at the same time.
I heard one time, but I don't know that it actually was ever true, that Amazon would send you something from one of your wish lists. Just random people. They'd send something off their wish list
Oh,
as
what, just
like
a
a
cock
gift.
up in the...
No, it was like a gift.
Okay.
So they'd send it to you like, oh, this was on your wish list. We sent it to you for nothing. But I think that was just a myth.
The only time I've ever had a problem with that, I tried to order the beard trimmer, and it just never came. It just wasn't dispatched. And I thought I was going to have to go through hell to get hold of a new one.
Yeah.
And I just phoned it. I contacted the guy on the whole online messenger thing,
I've used that, yeah.
Yeah, and he was great. And he just sent out a new one there and then, and gave me a free month of Prime, and asked me if he needed anything else. So I asked him would he recommend any good films to watch this afternoon on Amazon Prime. I mean, he didn't just close the chat window. We actually had like a
full chat.
4 or 5 more lines of conversation as he described to me that good thing that he'd seen on Prime last week. And then, yeah.
Do you reckon Amazon staff get free Prime?
Well, aren't Amazon notorious for being horrible to their staff?
I don't know.
And making them pick at an alarming rate from that massive factory.
Yeah, they probably do that, yeah. But like customer service staff.
I imagine there's some people who are treated very well and others who are treated not so well.
I heard that, that obviously they use robots in Amazon warehouses. Of course they do. To
a
help
point.
move stuff around.
And to the packaging, the boxing.
So there was this company called... I can't remember, like Pico or something they were called, and they made these warehouse robots, and they were great, like they were really good, and they were trying to get everyone to buy them, and the Amazon procurement team went in there and were like, yeah, these are great. We're going to buy the company because we don't want anyone else to have them. So they just bought the company.
Really?
Yeah. And they're the sole supplier of Amazon's robotic systems throughout the whole worldwide shipping, and they're not allowed to sell to anyone else. Well, they don't, obviously, because it's owned by Amazon. So Amazon bought a robotics company.
It does make sense, though, doesn't it? When you're on their scale, when you're on their level of
they want the best as well, and they don't want anyone else to have the best. Those picking
warehouses, it kills two birds with one stone, really, doesn't it?
What I love as well with Amazon is that all the boxes have numbers and letters. Have you noticed? So you get like E3,
all
and
the sizing
D6,
and stuff, isn't it?
And as the orders get given to the pickers or to the robots, I imagine it's the pickers that do it. It tells them what box they need. So they just go and pick the relevant size box. It calculates exactly what will fit in a box.
I think I've got some examples of stuff that was delivered to me this week, and how badly sized the boxes that came in.
Sometimes you get a massive box for a tiny thing.
I had a box that was like 9/10 of it was brown paper.
Yeah, I do
Stop
get
it
that.
rattling round.
At least it's brown paper though, not like
the worst one
those polystyrene
ever was I ordered a single bolt. No, a mount to hold a brake caliper on my mountain bike from Chain Reaction Cycles. It came in a box that was about the size of two shoe boxes alongside each other. This single bolt was rattling round in this. Why? It's a miracle it didn't get lost. Like, you shook this box. It was the most...
Was it just a joke, do you think?
Because
you'd ordered the smallest thing on there.
It was like 16 quid. It wasn't like I'd ordered something for 19p. It was like quite a weird...
Maybe that's why they did it.
I'd been ripped off as well.
They felt like you needed a big box to accommodate for how they'd ripped you off for a bolt.
It was 2 bolts and a mounting adapter, but it was not worth 16 quid. But there's nothing you could do. You had to have that piece to make it work. So, terrible times. I did see this week. I upgraded the television package this week. I was just like
the BT TV,
the BT thing. I really wanted Eurosport. Turns out you couldn't get Eurosport without getting all these other channels like Quest or E or MTV and all these other things. I was like, I'll never watch any of this. Well, so far I spent quite a lot of time watching Good Food Channel.
Oh yeah,
and I watched another really interesting program on, I think it was on Quest or one of those weird things, which was about the Volkswagen Audi Group factory.
Oh yeah,
and because they only have one factory for all their parts, and it had the fastest picking system. So if you go into like the Audi garage in Bristol, London, wherever, and you order a set of wiper blades, it comes from the main factory in Germany.
Oh, does it really?
It goes. The order gets to there. The electronic robot goes and picks it and puts it in the box, and it gets dispatched in like 7 minutes. It's in the bay, ready to be in a lorry and then taken away. It was incredible, but because it's Volkswagen Audi, they do all the parts for Volkswagen, Skoda. Audi, Skoda, Seat, Porsche. Like, it was the biggest factory. I don't know if they quite had the bits for Veyrons on the same shelves next door to Golfs, but
Bentley?
I think they might be owned, but I don't think that's coming from the same bit. And same with Porsche, actually. I think they're owned, but maybe under a different wing. But yes, interesting. I watched some horrible TV shows.
Yeah, some good stuff on those channels. The only time I ever watch those kind of channels is when I'm ill.
Yeah, when you're ill or late at night.
And when I'm up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, feeling like I'm about to throw up.
Do you know when I watched it?
I just need something to get my mind off it. Ooh, let's watch a documentary on that.
Funny you say
Volkswagen garage.
I actually watched it at 2:30 in the morning because I wasn't feeling very well. There you go. So that was...
And normally there's little to no description, and you're just watching stuff and just trying to work out what's going on, really.
Oh, there's that other amazing show, isn't it, called How It Works or something? And they go into massive, intricate detail of something that you never considered interesting to how it works. How they move oil rigs, for example, or something like that.
That sounds interesting.
Well, it's the kind of thing that I watch, I lap it up, and then...
Well, this is why I know so much pointless information from picking up how oil rigs
and then I go and
around.
Bore someone talking to them in a pub or something. I'll go and talk. I watched a really good documentary about how they move oil rigs last week.
You can pick up some good facts, though.
Yeah, it's probably one
pub quiz facts.
It depends
That's
what
what
kind
they
of
are.
pub quiz you go to.
Yeah, true. One specialising in oil rigs. Maybe in North Scotland or Russia or...
If anyone can find me a pub quiz that has a round specialising in oil rigs,
You need to go to, like, one of the islands, one of the Shetland
Outer
Islands.
Hebrides, the Outer Hebrides pub quizzes.
And if you can understand the question, then you'll be able to answer it.
Yeah, I
You
can,
know
only,
about
I can
oil
only
rigs.
go if they subtitle them, like on Deadliest Catch. That's another show that came off those weird channels.
Yeah, I never
Deadliest
watched
Catch,
that.
and there was that Scottish guy who looked a bit like a woman, but he was obviously hard as hell because everybody knows that if you're working on those trawlers, you're likely like
Or just suicide.
you're
or
several
a
sandwiches.
lunatic.
You're several sandwiches short of the picnic.
Mm.
You're bonkers, but you earn loads of money, but it's just danger money.
Mm.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Mm.
Crazy.
I know, you get lots of weird careers that are so life-threatening, and yet people lap it up.
I can see a little bit why.
Yeah, but when they have families and things, and you think, why do you keep doing it? Just go and
It's how
work
you
for
provide for
Amazon
your
or
family.
something.
Yeah.
Just go picking things off shelves.
No, they genuinely. You think it sounds like an all fun and games, but at Christmas they get in all these extra staff to go and do the Amazon picking, and they get given like a sort of iPhone wristwatch contraption, whatever, that's strapped to their arm, and it says where
With
they've
the
got to go and
barcode
get all the
scan
things,
and
and
stuff.
it gives them a location, like an aisle and a row and a number and whatever,
Yeah.
and they have to complete a pick every 30 seconds or something to stay on. I watched a panorama documentary about it.
Segway.
Yeah, one.
There's the answer.
But they catch on fire.
Do they?
Yeah, remember the little ones? Everybody was
Oh,
rolling
yeah,
around.
those little things.
Yeah,
What was it? Hoverboards.
yeah.
Stupid.
We just need the computers to do everything on those jobs, but
Yeah, well, soon
then
they
everyone will go
just
on
be
strike,
robots.
won't they? Because
Soon,
every time,
soon they will just be robots.
and then all the Amazon workers who were already angry about their rates would just go on strike, because that's always what happens every time we try to replace somebody with a robot.
Yep.
But they can't. You don't see. This is my argument. You don't ever see the people who used to pick up horse poo on the roads still on strike. Like, they've taken our jobs with a road sweeper. Times move on. It's time to embrace the electric train, and then we get rid of the whole. We get rid of the problem. You see, the problem is the human in this.
Deep.
Remove the weakling. Remove brain. We don't need free will in this world. We don't need free will.
Not for picking things off shelves in Amazon.
Certain things in life that are repetitive tasks, which technically I would refer to some of these tasks as take your brain out when you do them, like because you get bored. Like I used to do like data entry on computers work and whatever, and it's just take your brain out. You just copy and paste and you type it in numbers and whatever. And if you don't think about it, so you think about it, you go mad. But that job, if I knew what I was doing, I could have just written a piece of script to do it for me.
A macro.
But that's why we have brainier people to do it. But you didn't see me going on strike.
No.
I still did it.
Yep.
But then I did get quite angry that there was a way of doing it quicker that nobody would teach me.
Yeah, that always irritates me because whenever I've had data entry or data, like big Excel spreadsheets that need formatting or whatever, something like that, boring as hell at work, I spend, like, you sort of look at it and you think, oh, it's probably going to take about 3 or 4 hours, let's say. So then I think, right, there's got to be a quick way to do it. So I look online and I spend about, 3 or 4 hours trying to work out a solution. And then realise that I can't actually do it because I haven't got the smarts, so I just do it manually anyway.
And we're several hours down. We
And
haven't
9
learned
hours
anything.
later, I've done it.
We spent a whole day. Oh man, I remember I was wrangling with trying to get a load of longitude, latitude grid references to display on Google Maps on a United Kingdom overlay.
Oh,
once. Oh my sweet days. Right. In the end, I eventually just manually entered them, but I think I spent about a day trying to work out how to do this and there was a way of making it happen.
It's easy now.
Yeah, now it is. They've
now
updated
it's a doddle, mate. Now you just upload a spreadsheet and it's bang.
I
And
know.
Bob's your uncle.
I know how to do it now.
Yeah. Upload button.
I didn't at the time.
It's super smart. Google.
Yes. But everybody always says this, and it's not my... It's a bit like, do you remember you being in school and you'd ask a question? Science was the worst for it. I suppose we both have inquiring minds or whatever. You ask a question, it's a totally valid question, and it furthers a discussion point. therefore aiding learning. I'm not bitch about this at all. And then they go, you don't need to know that.
Yes.
Well, I do, actually, thanks.
That always irritates me.
I would quite have liked to know that.
But do you know what the reason is for that?
Syllabus.
They don't know the answer.
Is that what it is?
Because it's not on the syllabus. And they only know the syllabus.
I don't always think it's that. I think there is a...
Yes, it is.
To be fair, you couldn't get taken off track the
It is,
whole
because
time.
a lot of the science teachers did very specific courses. So, like, we had, like, someone who did geology, and now they're teaching us biology. Because they learn about rocks in biology. So, yeah, they'll do biology. And all they do is learn the syllabus.
But they wouldn't have been able to reach that point in their career without having a mind that also would have asked the same questions as we did.
Yeah, true, but they just still don't know the answer, though, do they?
But do they not just go and look?
They could Google it, and explain it, I suppose.
But I just would go and look. And that's the reason why I just carried on getting dragged off task.
Yeah, if you're a
all
teacher,
the time.
then you could just say, I'm not sure. Let's look it up, and then just work it out.
But is that not a better way
Isn't
of
that just
teaching?
teaching?
Is that not everybody learning together in a memorable way?
I suppose the problem is it wastes time, doesn't it? And they've got a small amount of time to get a lot of information into our brains.
Yeah, I think we've got to argue. I'm not sure it's wasted time,
Difficult,
you see.
isn't it?
But then it's not.
It's not wasted time for us, but it's wasted time for our exam results.
Exactly. Then when you've got the target hanging over the end of the
That's
end of the
what
year.
it is. Maybe they should do extra science lessons at lunchtime. Oh yeah, but then teachers don't want to be doing lessons.
It
at
raises a
lunchtime.
point, doesn't it? About is it really the best way of rating? Obviously, you have to have a quantifiable way of ranking children.
Oxford University. They were the first people to bring exams.
Yeah.
in.
I'm not arguing that. You have to have a
Just a little
quantifiable way
fact.
of essentially tiering people up into a graded system to decide because there's entry requirements to the world.
There's probably no point learning if you're not going to grade it. I
Yes,
suppose,
it has to be
how
graded.
good you are at
However,
learning.
the performance of the teacher or the school, I don't necessarily think is directly represented by those grades that
Definitely not.
we have to do.
Definitely not.
I can't think of a better way of doing it, however. Quality of life surveys. Exactly. It's so as soon as you can't.
No real
there's
way
no
of doing
other
it, is
real
there?
quantifiable way of doing it. It needs
It's
to be
like
a
a
number.
long term, and it's like a long term thing anyway, because you might have someone who doesn't really do very well at school, but like academically, but the teachers that they have are good role models, and they've learnt lots of life skills, and then they go out and maybe they have a couple of years where they don't do so well because they're struggling because they haven't got good results, but then they settle down and everyone gets about the same level. Then they have kids, get married, have kids, have
and it's
a
changed their
fantastic life,
Yeah.
and then by the time they're 30, they've got a house, they've got kids, they've got cars, they've got everything they want, and they're really, really happy. But to a school, that they're not going to wait 12 years to get
You can't
their
have a 12-year payback, can
no. So because all the teachers that taught will be gone by then, so they have to do grading and then base it all on grading and basing on how many students go to university.
Yeah. And at the end of the day,
90% of our students go to university.
And at the end of the day, it's all about a number. Everything has to be put down to a percentage or a number, because that's the only way that we can
Definitely
compute. Because it has to be put into a graph, really. If it doesn't fit in a pie chart, nobody's interested. If you can't display it on the Daily Mail in a pie chart
or in a PowerPoint presentation,
yeah,
to all
it's
the
done.
parents.
But it's like this is so many things in the world. When we crack, sorry, this is a massive jump, but when we crack, there will obviously be a way of quantifying pain. We don't know it at the moment, but currently you just ask somebody, what's your score, 1 to 10? Well, I understand it's subjective, and if your 10 is a 10, then that's a 10. That's the end of the world. But, however, there will be a way of measuring, I don't know how it's going to be. It's going to be something to do with your synapses, electrical travel signal.
And standardising it across people.
Yeah, and having a way of putting on a probe on your head and one on your arm or whatever, and giving you a number that you've got this many electrons going through your thing, you're in that much pain. So therefore we know what to do.
They probably do have that already.
There isn't a thing, I don't think.
I think
it's definitely not readily available at all.
I've seen a scale though, like a rough scale, because they say what pregnancy is and
it's just what people say.
Stuff. But I swear there's a
based
chart, there's a scale.
No, it's based on people saying 1 to 10. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's based on no real evidence, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based, and it's all personal, unquantifiable evidence. And I think it's one of those things, we'll crack it and it'll be all fine, but it's weird because I think it's our sciencey mind and the Daily Mail and news sources and everything needs everything to be put in a graph at all times. Everything has to be attributed to a number. And once you start putting, I don't know what's the word, opinion or, I'm struggling with words tonight.
Not enough beer, mate.
I'll drink faster. Yeah, once you start adding those emotions, feelings, opinions into it, you mar the water. But there must be a way of doing it. There must be. But I'm not that man. This is why we need to give it to some sort of think tank.
This is why we need to get all the people out of Amazon warehouses that have good brains to go to Oxford to learn all about science and body engineering, and then learn how to make a machine that will tell you how much something hurts.
I'll volunteer as tribute to scale to
I tell you what,
it.
Guys. Find me someone who's super brainy at an Amazon workshop.
You can't do your words either.
Warehouse, and I'll take their job, and they can go to Oxford. And
why would you do that?
Learn because it's for the greater good. The greater good.
Why have you all of a sudden gone on this charitable crusade for the greater good?
You've got to always get the greater good. The greater good.
Why are you?
You have to do that. Whenever you say the greater good. The greater good.
What's that from?
Hot Fuzz.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You always end up talking about that, and I haven't seen it in ages. I probably should. This prompts me that I probably should be watching it.
It's a good film. It's funny.
Yeah, it was funny when I saw it, but I can't remember how long that's been out. You're the man for this. I reckon I was 14.
Probably 2000 and... I'd have said more like 2000. Between 2006 2008. Maybe 2008.
Hot Fuzz. 2007. So that makes it 9 years.
Between 2006 and 2008.
Oh, my God. So that's 9 years, which makes me 13 or 14, as I said.
Yeah.
So it's my birthday next week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? It's got really good scores on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because it's badass.
Oh, come on. I think 13, 14-year-old me is going to see this totally differently to... Angus
I
now.
quite enjoyed it. I suppose looking back, maybe it's.
I still do like a poo joke though.
The odd poo joke.
All the poo jokes.
Well placed poo jokes.
No, not even well placed.
No?
Just the poo jokes. I'm still a child. Always will be. Locked in the wrong body.
It's just because you have a crap sense of humour, mate.
I'll agree with that. I still want to know when I start to find. I just won't ever grow up. Not in my sense of humour.
You don't need to grow up.
And the problem is, I don't even. You know, like you see things in your life that you find funny inside, you go, I can't tell anyone that.
Yeah.
Right? That's my entire life. My entire life is lived through this filter of not being able to share what I think is funny because it's deemed inappropriate or childish.
Oh, man.
And my filter's getting a bit lax.
Enjoy things. Enjoy things that make you laugh.
Yeah, definitely. That was a bit deep, wasn't it?
Well...
You've decided to just go on a charitable crusade.
Well,
and then
you've got to try and do a good thing at least once a week. I think if everybody in the world did one good thing once a week, the world would be a much better place.
It would. Do you know who's trying to make it the world a better place?
Not sure who.
Unwatch. It's time for Kim Jong-un watch.
Definitely trying to make the world a better place.
In his own way, Kim Jong is trying to make the world a better place. The feature has survived to week 2.
Nobody shouted at us for having it.
Toot, 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 toot. And starting Unwatch for this week. Rumours are that a South Korean train is going to be deliberately crashed into North Korea in an attempt to try and destroy the nuclear facilities. Now, I don't know the validity of this news source.
But we all know it, so surely they know it.
So that's like a bit of news coming out of there. Also, news from the Daily Star is saying that
a quality
Kim Jong
news source.
Yeah, I can't. Don't go picking holes in the feature, all right?
Oh my God!
Oh, what's happening? Oh no, that's news of the Kim Jong. That's appropriate. This is a concert where Kim Jong is actually brainwashing the children to perform for tourists. This is 4 little children playing on a weird instrument to the backdrop of a giant nuclear missile mural, would you believe? Yes, he has lost it, it would appear. I don't quite know how these images have been leaked to the Daily Mail, Daily Star.
Same difference.
Do I have any more Unwatch?
Unwatch.
Are there any more good ones? Oh, he's appeared for a public appearance at an apple farm after a massive flooding. So you know a bit like how George Osborne used to put his high vis on and go and stand there and shake people's hands? Kim Jong goes around the country too.
Apple farms.
So he went. So his public appearance was selected to be an apple farm for the day.
Maybe he really likes apples.
Oh, this is hang on. This is a good one. It appears. Is this really happening?
Did he fall over or something and get?
No, there was no report. He just went. Really, it was just a weird place to go. And my last piece of news for Unwatch, which is related to his sister. Actually, I didn't know he had a sister up until this.
I didn't either.
Kim Jong-un's sister Yo Jong is apparently responsible for sending a string of high-ranking party officials to a humiliating re-education. She's basically trying to purge them and re-educate them. Yeah, they were quite old as well. Kim Ki-nam of age 87, Ri Jae-il 81, and Chloe Hwai 62.
That's exactly how you pronounce them in Korea.
I thought that was... Put it this way, I could have been a lot more offensive.
Good effort.
I could have gone, Kim Ki-nam! Ri Jae-il! Chloe Hwai! But I didn't, because that would have been racist. That concludes... Unwatch! That has been Kim Jong-un Watch. What have you got to say?
I don't think I'm ever going to stop finding that funny.
Does Unwatch live to fight a third week?
Unwatch is hilarious.
Does it live to fight a third week, though?
Who knows? Let the Twitter sphere decide.
Oh, no, don't leave it up to them.
Twitter sphere.
They'll just start arguing with me at 1:30 on a Saturday night again.
Fine. That's good.
And also, I'm quite angry about the choices of things that... I will leave him nameless, but in the end, he bowed down.
But you can't leave him nameless. All people have to do is look at the Twitter feed.
Yeah, but people can't be bothered. In the end, he backed down and admitted that he was a troll named Rod. And that he was inferior and he shouldn't have tried to challenge us on who called the Bongo Bongo Party.
Well, that was
Bongo,
silly because
Bongo
we
Land.
actually did fact check
Yeah, we
that.
did fact check that. And then they called us out on...
In-Betweeners, wasn't it?
How many... That there have been more than 18 episodes of In-Betweeners, which there hasn't. Okay, you conclude the 2 films, and that's going to take us to 20, but they're 2 films. And the final thing that they tried to call us out on was...
I don't remember the last one.
I got it. Oh, that the flu vaccines aren't made of egg.
Which, again, we fact-checked.
We fact-checked at the time. I know that that's true.
Maybe it was just ironic. And he was calling us out on things we definitely... Don't you think? That we fact-checked.
Yeah. Well, if we ever do say anything too contentious, I would...
Oh, no, I want people to tell us we're wrong, if we're wrong.
Are you deliberately slipping in things that are wrong, then?
Maybe. I'm testing people.
You're dragging down the level of the pod.
You never know.
Dragging it down.
You never know if my facts are true or not.
Right.
Like a shit version of Uber facts.
Well, that's not... Let's face it, that's questionable. It is kind of fairly shitty anyway. Uber facts.
I got sick of Uber facts in the end.
But you also deleted it.
I did.
Oh,
by the way, I have news.
Big news?
So, last week we were moaning about how on Facebook Messenger you get people who you might like to chat with, who you really don't want to chat with.
Who you send inappropriate images to.
You intentionally haven't chatted to because you don't want to chat to them.
Familiar with this?
Just hold your finger over it and it gives you the option to hide it.
You aren't just a pretty face, you're also saving me the embarrassment of sending inappropriate memes to the wrong people.
I was so peed off with it the other day because I nearly, sent something to someone. So I just held my finger down on it, let go. Oh my god, there's a menu, hide this. Hid the section.
To be fair, you can hide most things on Facebook. I sent you a link earlier to something that I'd hidden.
You did, an advert.
An advert that I'd hidden, I'd seen a million times.
I get so sick of adverts.
I think I'm sure.
Full page adverts on news sites. They're the one. I think.
Like on a silly local news sites.
Oh, and the big ones as well. They have a full like Santander news.
Yeah. And also the thing is, I've said this definitely. Adverts can be really useful if it's targeted at the right things and they've used all their knowledge they have on you.
They're great, really good.
It could give you something that you might actually genuinely want.
Special offers, deals, and things. Like that.
I do not want to be going and playing Crisis Clash Royale. I'm never going to do that. You can judge that from my personality, so why waste your money on that? We've definitely done that before, and whatever. Yes, right. I reckon.
That concludes the personal messages. We continue with music.
That was
that was a
starter for 10.
Yeah.
Featuring Angus
and George. I can't keep up the soft voice.
Thank you for listening. Please follow us on Twitter.
You jumping the gun?
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the smooth voice, but it needs more practice.
So, we started at the golf balls.
Yes, the golf balls. God, that was a journey, wasn't
it? Stealing of golf balls.
Yep.
And where did we end up? Where are we going to call the finish line? I've forgotten what we were talking about 2 seconds ago.
Oh my God, I don't know.
I genuinely can't remember what we were talking about.
No idea.
Yeah, so we ended up what we were talking about a minute ago.
Yep, which was a good subject.
It was a great subject.
Yep.
It was a hell of a journey to get there. We covered on the way that was interesting. Maybe looking at a new way of ranking schools.
Robots.
We talked about robotics.
Amazon. Quite a lot, actually.
Quite a lot about Amazon. Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, the bike box thing.
The bike box thing with the television screen.
Yeah, the television screen.
Which is still a genius idea.
It is a genius idea.
Yeah, genius.
Yeah, I think that
was a good start of 10.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And Unwatch.
Unwatch.
And of course Unwatch. Right. That's us. He's been George.
And he's been Angus.
Follow on Facebook, Twitter. Like and subscribe. Write us a review if you want, or whatever. I haven't checked the reviews for a while. Should probably do that.
Next time.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Righty-ho.
Thanks, guys.
Until next time.
Always press the wrong damn button.